Are you feeling left out and disconnected in our digital age? Well, not to worry. Heidi Ellsworth joins me in this week's lesson on the Contractor Success Academy to talk all things digital marketing. Let's jump right into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Contractor Success Academy. My name is Holly and today I'm here with Heidi Ellsworth. Heidi is one of the most iconic women in the industry in my opinion, and I am so happy to have her here today. So for those of you who don't know Heidi, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure, Holly, thank you. Before I introduce myself, I have to say, I was so impressed with you being brand new to the industry, just reaching out, and I'm just so happy that we've met and we're gonna get to work together and do some things. So I am with Roofers Coffee Shop, and I have been in the industry for quite a while. Closing in on looking at 30 years here in a little bit soon. So I've been in roofing for a long time, love it. It is one of the best industries, I think. And so even though I know you do all exteriors and we love all construction, we really do my focus is all on roofing. The website, Roofers Coffee Shop, is about 159,000 unique visitors every year. And I also work with many groups throughout the US and Canada on marketing for roofing, on sales, on diversity, on just kind of a lot of different things to help on the progressive, to help the industry.
Amazing. I love that. That's so cool. So today you're here to talk about something that I'm super passionate about. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm so big on this, and that is networking. And not only networking, but networking in the digital age. So Let's have you take it away.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, Holly, I want to point out this front slide, I kind of did a little different things here, but you're going to see a number of ladies that in different places with masks on and masks off. That is the board of directors for the National Women in Roofing. And they have been working incredibly hard on really keeping women together, not just women, but the industry as a whole throughout the COVID and through everything that we've done this last year, during the crazy times. And so I just wanted to kind of point that out because these are amazing ladies and really have embraced digital networking. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I thought you're a natural at networking, and there's so much that contractors should be doing. And I don't know about you, but I have heard so many people who have said, well, we just can't do anything, right? We can't. Yeah. There's no in-person, I can't go out, I can't get on an airplane, blah, blah, blah. That is really all 2019 at this point. Sorry, and I'm not supposed to say dates, but that is
I totally agree.
And today, the opportunities online are immense. So I wanted to share with you and all of your contractors what we've been doing. And so I'm really going to share this through the eyes of Roofers Coffee Shop, this website, this digital community, and all the resources that are there that can help contractors to continue to do the important networking. And I'm not talking just about in their community. I'm talking about nationally with manufacturers, distributors, associations, through North America, through the globe. We have people come from everywhere. So that kind of networking is just really critical for success. So let me introduce a little bit, and I know we talked a little bit about it, but Roofers Coffee Shop, it is a digital community. And it started out, it was launched in 2002 by Vicki Sharples, my business partner, and really was a little bit before its time. So they launched in 2002 with the website. They launched a forum in 2002, a place where contractors could come on and talk and network and learn from each other. And at that time in 2002, there were a lot of contractors who didn't even have computers on their desks. I mean, they weren't even using it. It was crazy. But there was this core group of innovators, kind of those thought leaders, early adopters, who got onto the website, started using the forum, started using our classified ads to really try to talk online and start getting to know people from across the country. And I'm going to give you a great example. There was a group on the forum, and this was in the mid 2000s, and they started sharing information with each other. They got to know each other. They were from all over the country, all and up and into Canada. And they really found each other, and they started calling themselves the Band of Brothers. And they would even, at one point, when someone was sick or having problems with their business, they would get in their cars and they would drive there to help them and help their families.
I love that.
It was just such a great community.
Yeah.
And so that was, in the early 2000s. So just imagine what contractors can be doing today.
Mm-hmm,
right?
Absolutely. I was just going to say, this is like predating Facebook. This is crazy. Yeah. So what was like the inspiration behind creating Roofers Coffee Shop? How did that come about?
Well, my business partner, Vicky, she has always been a thought leader, very progressive, and she had started a newspaper that was on every distributor's counter. It was called Roofers Exchange. But in the 1990s, she really believed that print was going to go away. And she was right. She was just a little bit early because it took a little bit longer, but because we still have print. But you think about where we've come from the 90s to today and how digital really has taken over. And so she knew that with that newspaper, she needed to get online. So I worked with her at that time as a consultant and helped her get it online. And so again, she really did something before anybody else. This was a resource that people just didn't totally understand. They didn't get it, but the ones who did, took a lot of it. And now Holly, to show you today, the contractors are not only coming to the site or our social media or email or live events, they're just coming there to find out things, but they're engaging. So they actually are providing information back to the industry through surveys and quizzes, this fun answer me this. Every week, there's a new question on there. And they're talking and they're going back and forth on the forum. And of course, we want to make it fun. So we send out some gifts and we do some fun things in there. And I wanted to point this out because for contractors, they may be like, okay, that's great networking. Maybe I'm talking to other contractors, but how's that helping me in my business? This is something contractors can do in their own community. So if they are residential and they have a number of maybe homeowner associations that they're doing consistent work with, and they want to get feedback on how they can do better. Are they wearing booties in the house? Are they, how are they dealing with with remote selling and remote marketing, or even the crews and sanitation? This is a great way to open up with some live conversations, online forums, asking questions through surveys. So this isn't just contractors kind of doing it into the roofing industry, but this is really something that contractors can take these ideas and put them into their own marketing plans, into their own communities.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. It's like a toolbox filled with like unlimited potential and new things they can learn and apply and tweak their business.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's really, and when you really think about some of the tools that are out there for them to use, I just wrote a column for Western Roofing Magazine on this, but when you really think about it, like Facebook Live events, make it fun, show kids how to build birdhouses and put a roof on it. Doing those kind of things that endear them to the community. On LinkedIn, have webinars on green roofs, for building owners. There's just so many different things that they can do live that doesn't have to happen at a building owners trade show or at a community, a fair, the fair where they go into the commercial thing and they sell their goods, or the home shows. You can do this online. And one of the things we've really looked at is not just roofing, although roofing is very generational when it comes to learning, but our society overall. Our society learns different today. You have older people who probably want to read and they want to read either articles. Sometimes they don't even want to read online, but they're getting over that, I think. And then you have people who want to listen. They learn by listening through auditory. And then you have people who just want to watch, or a combination of all of those. And so we've launched our initiative, RLW, Read, Listen, Watch, so that people can learn when and how they want to. And I think for contractors, that is really important, that you think about your audience, that it's not just baby boomers or Gen X who are getting new roofs on their house. The millennials they're 30% of homeownership.
Yeah.
And now Gen Z's coming up. They want to listen to that podcast. They want to watch the videos of how it's put on the roof, of how it works. So as the contractors are looking to communicate with their customers, they should be thinking, I really recommend think all multimedia. And then as you are looking to network within the industry, that is a great way to start engaging with other contractors when you're looking for certain information. So for example, next week, we're going to have an RLW and it's going to be on very severe hail. Well, contractors can't go to trade shows right now, right? But they can come here and they can learn what's going on from the manufacturers of membranes and what they're doing to help protect roofs from hail, and how to install them and how to sell them. So all the things that maybe in the past were more of a networking thing at a trade show are now happening online.
Exactly. And it's even more accessible too, which is amazing, right? Like people can tune in from their homes, from the car on the drive, driving the kids to school. Like the accessibility of online learning right now is huge. And it's just like events like this are where it needs to be, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And when you think about it, when we say read, listen, watch, when we do these, this is a live event that will happen next Wednesday. And afterwards, it will be a podcast that they can get on any podcast channel. It will be a video that's going to be on YouTube and on our website. And you're going to be able to read the transcript. So
incredible, like where you don't miss any spots, right? So anyone who wants to get this content, who likes to get it in each different way, can get it.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's, it's really, that's the way we're going. That's the direction. And that's really, and be able to do it live and ask questions and then be able to get it on demand. And not just if you missed it, but maybe you want to listen to it again, or maybe you just want to get the transcript to kind of, really understand what was going on. And we really saw it's not the same old webinar, right? It needs to be engaging. It needs to be a two-way conversation. So again, as we sat as Roofers Coffee Shop and thought about what do our audience need? What do our advertisers? What do our contractors? What does the industry as a whole? What do they need? They need engagement. They need to be able to talk. So we do our coffee conversations, which is a live Q&A every other week. Contractors come in from all over the country. They ask questions. They talk to each other. They see how they're doing. This week, we're going to be having on roof coatings. So roof coatings are disrupting the industry. They are making it easier. They're taking care of building owners and homeowners. It's just roof coatings are such a hot product and a hot roofing system right now in the industry. So we're having the president of the Roof Coatings Manufacturing Association on, along with contractors, and they're going to be talking and asking questions and going back and forth. And honestly, this is something that a contractor could do for their building owners or for their homeowners associations, right? Mm-hmm. Get your local rep. Get your local manufacturer's rep, or whoever is representing the brands you like, and have them come on to a podcast or to a live Q&A and talk about why building owners or homeowners should care about this product. So by kind of looking at what we're doing at Roofers Coffee Shop, there's a lot of room for these contractors to take it to their marketing.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I think contractors are not seeing that, right? They don't think that they can do these things, but it is 100% possible, and it will set them up in a position of authority so that more people will trust them, right? And that's the goal, right? You want to build your network and have people trust you.
Yeah. So what's really fun is we have our multimedia producer. So we have a young lady who does our podcast, who does our coffee conversation. She's in the back chatting with everybody, bringing them on, making sure everything works great. She's editing all of our videos. Well, it so happens that's my daughter, Megan. and, I'm just like so proud, and I'm so happy that, this is her world. She's a musician. She understands it. And the reason I bring that up is because there's a lot of roofing contractors and a lot of roofing companies out there who are small businesses, just like we are, just like Roofers Coffee Shop. And they probably have kids who are graduating from college or who are have graduated from college who understand this so well, who can produce podcasts and videos and do all the live events, who understand Facebook Live and everything else. So when what you said, Holly, about that people can do this, you probably have the people in your company right now who could be putting this together for you.
Absolutely. And especially reaching out to young people that that are exactly that, just finishing up university, going into university. Like, young people are the ones, and I say this as a young person, who can take up the industry, who can come with these innovative ideas, and who know how to operate this technology and make things more streamlined for contractors who are a bit older or who are more out of the loop because they're too focused on the work rather than the tech side, So
exactly. This is not out of reach for anybody. It's a subscription online, and it's just getting the right people to help put it all together, and the personalities, that to just do like you and I are doing, talk and chat. It's awesome. Yeah. And it's the same thing, I kind of started, I've been doing webinars for years and years and live presentations, but when I started first doing our podcasts, we do roofing road trips, and we also do stories from the roof. And at first I was kind of like, oh, this has to be hard, right? This is so new and different. It's just like having a conversation.
It's walk in the park.
Yeah, it's not that hard. If you want to have it super duper produced, that's a little bit different. But for the everyday, and I think through everything we've gone through in this last couple of years, we are really understanding that not everything has to be perfectly produced, right? Yes, it just has to be authentic.
I know. I was Gary Vee, one of the most famous marketers out there. He just put out a post, and he was just like, people want to see what you're doing. They want to see your authentic self, your journey, what's happening, what you had for breakfast. People want to see that, right? Like, that's right. The content that hits the heart, that hits home and gets people inspired and kind of starts that train.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so true. It's so true. I always say, transparency, authentic, those are the things, just being true to yourself and showing that true self. People
gravitate towards that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it comes together. So, and I think also as the contractors are kind of thinking about, okay, great. So we're going to do all these multimedia, or we're going to try one, or whatever we're going to do, or they're going to come on to Roofers Coffee Shop and to the different resources that are out there and kind of learn and watch from this, that they also need to be keeping social media top of mind. It's not easy. I think social media is a constant, it's almost like more of a river than a road. It constantly changes. It kind of moves, the currents move. And, but again, bringing that authenticness to it, and then looking in the industry. So this is another place where the industry is a resource to contractors. Look and see what the Roofers Coffee Shop, National Roofing Contractors Association, Canadian Roofing Contractors Association, what are they putting out on social media, and share that with their customers. So again, that whole resource, everyone should be, ideally sharing the positive and the great roofing respect of our industry. And looking for virtual shows that might help. So one of our advertisers, Suprema, is getting involved with Cities Alive, and it's virtual 2020. And it's a way of kind of getting outside your roofing box a little bit and seeing the whole building envelope and really kind of understanding what some of the trends are. And I think that also is very important in that it's, whether you're residential or commercial, If you're able to look at the trends that are happening out there in sustainability, in energy, in all of those kind of things, and really take the time virtually to learn, you're going to have that opportunity. And so there are places, again, on our site and on other sites that will list all these events, that list all these virtual events that are going on. So by taking some time and researching it, you'll find some really cool stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And the fact that you have it all on the website, people don't even have to go digging for it anymore, right? It's right there. You have all of this beautiful information that can transform the way you run your business right there. It's incredible.
Yeah. It's all in one spot. And as we ask the contractors to send us things, right? So if they can't find something, just ask us, we'll get it and we'll get it on there. One of the things that we talk about a lot is this change in trade shows, and that, there's no trade shows. And who knows when they're going to come back. But there are trade shows online every day, 24/7. And one of them is on the coffee shop, is our directory. We have companies that are on there with all their information, with all their promotions, their newest innovations. They have complete contact information. You can, some of them you can even chat with, you can email, you can talk to. So really, when we're thinking about this shifting of our brains, what's the difference from walking up to a trade show and chatting with somebody than coming onto a site and saying, "Ooh, I like that information. I'm going to click and I'm going to find out more. I'm going to contact them."
Exactly. Yeah. And then when you even do contact someone, it's usually a really in-depth one-on-one conversation, whereas at a trade show there's lots of people, it's a quick 5-minute chat, then you move on. But the idea here is that you basically get a one-way ticket to a ton of information.
Exactly. And one-on-one engagement.
Yeah, one-on-one engagement, that's exactly it. Yes. And I think it just comes to transforming the way we think about trade shows. I think that's just going to have to be a shift that we all have to make as the years go on.
Right. And I truly, I'm definitely an extrovert. I love being around people. I get jazzed being around people. And so there's always going to be a place for trade shows. But I think we are learning right now that there is a better hybrid model. And that is that combination of online access, 24/7 access, and in person, maybe not as many, maybe a fewer in-person events. But that's still important because there's just an energy when people come together. So, but we're trying to look at that. We're trying to emulate that on the site because that people want that too. So we also, throughout the site, we have all of the associations where if you want to get involved, if you want to get involved in the conversations, if you want to get involved on Zoom meetings, online meetings, really getting more of that interaction, all of that is on the site. And I think being involved in your local, regional, and national roofing associations is one of the most important things you can do. That is really where you have like-minded people who are helping each other. And it's very much like the Roofers Coffee Shop. We all try to come together and help each other and make it go together. And Holly, you're going to love this.
I'm ready.
I just had to bring this up. So National Women in Roofing.
Okay.
It's a national association, both in the US and Canada and New Zealand. And it's all about supporting each other. It's about bringing more women into roofing, supporting a strong balance and equality, and really supporting each other through all of this. So they have done amazing virtual events, virtual connections and engagement. And so I'm going to show you a funny picture. This is off their website, but this is the kind of stuff that they've been putting out there, true life pictures of family and Barbie dolls and Zoom meetings and coffee cups. And, those are the kind of things that contractors can get involved with right now. They can network. This National Women in Roofing is one of the strongest networks out there. It is amazing. And there are, if you look at National Roofing Contractors Association, the Canadian Roofing Contractors Association, when you look at all of those groups, they're doing this kind of stuff right now that is keeping us tight.
It's true. And it's so special because after our first call, you mentioned that I should join National Women Roofing, and I did, and I love it. I've been on a few
Yes.
webinars, and I'm listening to, I think it was one about how women came into their leadership positions. And then after, I connected with these women on LinkedIn, and we just had these really awesome, meaningful conversations. And there's also a book club that I'm a part of too, that you guys are doing. It's so much fun. And I love the community, because community is everything, no matter what industry you're in, but especially in an industry where women are often, marginalized and a minority. It's so important to have that tight-knit community. And that's exactly what National Women in Roofing does. I love it.
It is what they're, and really when you talk about using digital networking, this is it. They have taken it to a whole new level. And I'm just so proud to have been one of the founders of National Women in Roofing, because when I see what they do and what the leadership is doing right now, it's outstanding. So I encourage everybody to be involved. And for the men out there who are listening to this thinking, well, I can't be involved. Yes, you can. Men can be involved, be members of National Women in Roofing. And the best thing you can do is get the women in your company memberships, get them involved. It will help grow your business. And people are like, I don't know, we'll have to have another chat on that later, Holly, on how that works, but it does work. So we have the same types of clubs that we're trying to put together online. We have put together, we're going to continue to do it. And so when you're looking out there, look for those kind of opportunities, whether it's National Women Roofing, Roofers Coffee Shop, look for people who are helping you with consultations, with advice, with networking. That's what it's all about. Really understanding what your manufacturers and distributors are doing is so important, because that helps build your business. So it's not just your customers. You really have to engage and understand the industry as a whole. And I always have to say this, because roofing respect is just what we talk about all the time. And the professionalism of this industry is amazing. And it's something that I know you and your team are working on every day. And I just, that's the biggest part of networking is respect. Mm-hmm. So Holly, that's all I have on my slides. What do you think? What questions do you have?
Heidi, that was incredible. I loved that. You've hit the spot on so many things. You have Roofers Coffee Shop. You have National Women in Roofing. Where do you go next? What do you create next?
Well, I've been really lucky to also be involved in one of the founders of Roofing Technology Think Tank. And I just really didn't feel like I could throw one more thing in here today, but that is another group that is really progressive on what technologies, what is the next thing? What is the next technology, not just for communications, marketing, and sales, but robotics, things that are on the roof, things that contractors really need to understand, because it's going to change the dynamics. The labor shortage, obviously the pandemic, everything that we have going continues to change how we do business. And so staying on that front end, I think, is so important. One of the things that was really interesting, National Roofing Contractors Association had a town hall this last week, and they talked about that 75%, these are rough numbers, 75% were doing just as well and quite a bit better this year compared to last year, but 25% were doing worse, substantially worse. And everyone I've talked to and what we're seeing, and this is again unsubstantiated, but what we're seeing is the contractors who are embracing technology, digital, virtual meetings, marketing, technology on the roof are in that 75% who are growing. Mm-hmm. The ones who are unable to keep up with how fast everything is changing are the ones that are not doing so well. So it's just more critical than ever to be involved.
Mm-hmm. Could not agree more. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Well said. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me, Heidi. I always love talking to you. I hope you come back again.
Yes.
For those listening, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can stay updated on all the new content we are putting out. Thank you again, Heidi.
Thank you, Holly. I so enjoyed this. Thank you for letting me share.
My pleasure. Take care.
Okay, bye. What young people are doing every day without even thinking about it, mm-hmm. and starting to transform it as tools into B2B. it's a total, it's so I've got a lot of young people and I'm just like, okay, what do you do every day? And how can we bring that into roofing? How can we help to communicate better with the next generation? How can we do this? And so, yeah, that's the next big thing.